Yo, what's good? Welcome to the Five to Life Fantasy Football Dynasty League. Shout out to the commish, Master E, aka formerly known as Lucked Out. We have a few name changes in the league. Formerly known as Lucked Out is now third and 10. and formerly known as Saved by Lev Bell is now jobless. But the news just dropped. Uh, we can talk about that after. This is the week 6 preview. Let's do a little week 5 recap. Shout out to all the winners. A team has no name. Won over me. There are no more undefeateds. The undefeateds are no longer. Shout out Pete Top, Kevin Bottom. Shout out Mean Machine. Shout out El Come Tortas, aka the returning champ. And shout out to Zeke Doubt. The biggest blowout of the week was Mean Machine over 12 gauge. It was 48.22 points. So shout out to Michael for that. And here's the standings. Here's our standings right now. As of today, this is the 15th of October. So here's our waivers. And there was a waiver fuck up. I don't even want to talk about it. We can get into it. Shout out to the winners. Week 6 now. Preview. First matchup. Myself, Novid versus the commish, Master E. Third and 10. I think he changed his name from Lucked Out because he was having horrible luck. This one has a chance of being the matchup of the week as well. I don't know what I know that he has something planned. I don't believe that he's going to play Matthew Stafford. That this is just my opinion, but if this is his standing right now, then all right, then he's going to go with that. I know he's probably waiting on, like Deontay Johnson to see if he's going to play Julio Jones. He might have to start Christian Kirk because I know that Sammy Watkins is out. But like I said before, and again, Master E, 3rd and 10. I'm going to have to get used to that shit. 3rd and 10 squad is pretty stacked. He has the most depth, and, he's had a lot of injuries, but the big return of Devontae Adams, and I'm pretty sure he's going to come back 100%. It's going to be a big game. Luckily for me, it's not like a night game, so I could still kind of work with that. I think Devontae is going to have, a solid fucking game. Who doesn't? So as you know, last week for me, Dalvin Cook got hurt. A lot of my players, they just had horrible matchups. I predicted it. I thought I was going to lose anyways, but shout out to Ray. I'm not sure who I'm going to start at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and I don't know who the fuck I'm going to start. Dalvin Cook got hurt, and he should be fine. There's a bye in 2 weeks, but he's probably not going to play this week. So this is the most fucked up situation because Eric had picked up Madison off the waiver wire, and I think Eric had like the 6th waiver wire pick, and I had like the 9th or 10th or some shit. And I had hit up 12 gauge, which is managed by Sauer, and I told him, dude, you have the number 1 waiver pickup. If anyone should get it, it's you. You know what I'm saying? He's going to beast, if we know anything about the Vikings, they're going to run the ball. No matter who is in their backfield, they're going to run it. And if anyone should deserve him, it's you. You need the win. Looks like, you could use him. And I'm giving you this heads up because you have the waiver pickup. And I gave him some other suggestions, but I was like, yeah, bro, just do what you do, but please pick this fool up on the priority because I don't want to have Eric pick him up because I knew that it was going to slip to him. It just had a feeling. So I was like, all right, Sauer, pick him up. I wake up at fucking 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, depending on how I usually wake up at that time, just check it, whatever. And the waivers came in on Thursday instead of Wednesday because of the Tuesday night game. And I seen 12 gauge pick up Justin Jackson as his priority, who is on a bye. And 3rd and 10 picked up Madison. So that's my situation right now. Whatever, it is what it is. Good pickup. That was it's probably going to be the pickup of the week. So, but going forward, I like my receiver matchups. I know that Devontae Parker struggled, and he's probably going to struggle in this game too. Terry McLaurin. Sorry, I know Terry McLaurin might struggle this game too, but I think he'll get it done. I think he's a solid wide receiver 2 this week. I have wide receiver 2s and 3s, and some would argue that Allen Robinson is a 1. That some would be me. I think Gibson's going to have a bounce back game. I don't know who I'm going to have in that running back. I don't really want to hit that waiver because I have a pretty solid team and I don't want to have to drop anybody. So I think I might have to make some trades or just go with the squad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm worried about Singletary. I think I might start Harris. But I'm leaning to start Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. But if I had to choose right here, I think I had a good matchup. The only reason this can be the matchup of the week, and the only reason I say that is because I think, Stafford. It's Stafford. He's going to put up the numbers, but I don't think he'll put up the numbers as much as, Josh Allen this week or Lamar Jackson. And Josh Allen's playing in prime time. So, and also too is that he has 3rd and 10 has Cooper Kupp, Raheem Mostert, and George Kittle. And he has a San Francisco defense. All those slots are in the same game. I know he's dealt with that a lot of the times. He had like the Lockett and Metcalf situation. Me personally, I don't do that. I don't like too many fingers in the cookie jar. Too many fingers in the pot. I like to spread it out. I like to get from different pots, so to speak. And so yeah, I think that's the only edge I could have. And besides the primetime matchups, I think it's the only edge. It's gonna be a close game. He could win this game. I think it's a must win for him as well as myself, because I want to run the table. I want to get that first spot. I want to go into playoffs with the bye week. It feels nice to having to prepare for like the game before the championship. You know what I'm saying? Not having to worry about 3 weeks, 2 weeks before ahead, So I do want to get that bye week. I do want to stay in first place. It's a dope position to be. But Eric, he needs a win right here because if he loses, it can fuck up a lot of it. He will probably still be in 8th place if he loses, but it'll fuck up everybody's situation if he wins. So it's a must win for him. It's a big, big win for him. And I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna stay up to date. But my matchups look good. His matchups look good. So I think that's gonna be the matchup of the week. But I will take myself. You guys tell me, who do y'all think has it? Look, a quick look at his bench, my bench. Oh, Melvin Gordon got a fucking DUI. Crazy ass shit. But yeah, so on to the next matchup, which is 12 gauge versus Pete Top, Kevin Bottom. A must win for 12 gauge, or else he will be 0-6 and he will have to be undefeated to even hopefully get into playoffs. So like I said, he had the number 1 waiver pickup. Aaron Rodgers is back. Aaron Jones is back. So it's, I call him Aaron squared back. He had the number 1 waiver pickup and he picks up Justin Jackson, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with 12 gauge. You got to look at I don't know. You just got to be updated, bro. You got to make right decisions, I guess. But there's always next season, so you got to make some plays now. You got to make some plays. Pete Top, Kevin Bottom, favorable matchup. And this is a must win for him too, because let's say 3rd and 10 wins and, he loses this game, which I don't think he will. It could fuck up his situation entirety. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's gonna lose. I like Pete Top, Kevin Bottom just because of the players. Simply, not even the matchups, just the players. Mahomes, Hopkins, Ridley, Fuller, Johnson, Hunt, Smith, Jones. Those players are just solid players all around, no matter the matchup. And a couple of bright spots for 12 gauge that he, obviously Rodgers and Jones back, and AJ Brown. He looked good last game, but McCole Hardman is probably going to get a lot of looks. It's a primetime game. If there's some way, maybe Gesicki puts up some big numbers against the Jets. Jones Jr. has that one game that he always does every season where he gets like 3 touchdowns in that game. Pittsburgh D gets stout against Kareem Hunt's Cleveland Browns. That would be a solid matchup for 12 gauge. If he could somehow keep it close and have McCole Hardman go off in prime time because Sammy Watkins is out, that is a bright spot for 12 gauge right there. I think I could see that. I could see that swaying. James White, you never know what's going to happen with James White. You can go off. He could be solid. or it could be a dud, you know. So yeah, but just off of players, and then not even looking at the matchups. Uh, I do like Pete Top, Kevin Bottom, but you never know, man. You never know. You never know. Buffalo's defense might step it up against Mahomes, and Mahomes might get, you know, a healthy 16, and Rodgers might go for fucking 30. You know, so it is what it is. But I do like Pete Top, Kevin Bottom. 12 gauge, man, must win. I hope you do win. You know, this league needs you in it. You know, and with the chat being quiet without you there, and these moves like this Justin Jackson waiver priority number 1, you could have had Madison and Jackson. Do you understand that? Yeah, that I don't know. It just I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, Nick Chubb still on bye. And I like that Pete Top, Kevin Bottom. Of course, he's a San Francisco 49ers fan. He's holding on to Coleman, man. He's holding on to Coleman. Good Claypool pickup. I like that. I like that he picked him up and he's not starting him. I like that. That's a veteran move right there. James, shout out Pete Top, Kevin Bottom. It's a very veteran move right there. You don't chase the points. You know, if you think the player has the potential, you know, get him on. You know, if you have to start him, start him. You know, if not, then you don't need to start him. You know what I'm saying? So Eckler on the IR. Yeah, so I like Pete Top, Kevin Bottom at this game. Next matchup. Tough loss is Comeback Chris versus Mean Machine. Tough loss from Comeback Chris. It was probably his worst outing. This could be another matchup of the week as well. Big win by Mean Machine last week. I think he was playing 12 gauge. I think he's on a 2-win streak, so it's looking good for Mean Machine. Both must wins. If Mean Machine wins this game, he has a chance to go up to like second place, first place. He has that chance to run that table. Going forward, though, with both of these teams are stacked. The big news coming out from right here from Mean Machine is that Le'Veon Bell is, I don't know if, but right now he's expected to sign. He already tweeted out, you know, to the Chiefs. He's expected to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs. There's nothing, as of right now, it's not an ink, you know what I'm saying? So just bear with me on that. But he's not starting Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I don't know if he's starting him ever again. Nah, I'm just kidding. But Mike Davis, this is the last week for Mike Davis. Solid fucking numbers. He could be the pickup of the year if you think about it. Just solid waiver pickup. But, you know, McCaffrey's coming back. And with Le'Veon Bell going to the Chiefs, and a lot of fantasy experts and a lot of people like who just play fantasy on the regular pretty much know that this will make Clyde Edwards-Helaire touchdown dependent, because this is him with all the work. And yeah, it's a solid running back 3, running back 2. He's a rookie on a high offensive team, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just going to be less attempts, less targets, and it's going to be very, very touchdown dependent. I'm going to try to make a trade for Clyde Edwards-Helaire myself. I don't know if Mean Machine would want to, but that's a whole nother situation. But yeah, so he has that player in prime. He has that player in prime time, but he's sitting him. He has starting Kansas City defense. I don't know about that. That might be the downfall a little bit, because, you know, Buffalo is a different team from what everyone remembers. I was high on Buffalo last year. I was telling everybody about Josh Allen, Singletary last year, John Brown, and then they just got Diggs, you know, in that defense, and no one was believing me, and now all of a sudden everyone's writing that. I don't care. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I called it. But he's starting Joe Burrows, and he has Matt Ryan, I believe, against Minnesota. Yes, right here. I would have liked to seen him, you know, pick up, go to the waiver wire, maybe drop like Zach Moss, because, you know, Moss is probably not going to get, depending on Singletary as well, and he's been banged up. I think they're just both going to cut into each other's carries, and it's not going to be good for both of them. I would have liked to seen him pick up quarterback, but, you know, he has faith against Joe Burrows, against that big Indiana defense. Indiana defense is good, but that Joe Burrows is going to give him a solid. I mean, it's not going to be like last game where he got him 6 points. Look at that shit. It's not going to be like last game. I think his base is around 16. His floor is around 16, 15. So if he could work with that, then he has pretty solid matchups. Brandon Cooks should be good, touchdown dependent, but his targets went up. Yeah, look, his targets went up last week. Don't be blinded by this number. It probably won't be like that, but I don't think it'll ever be like this 3-0 anymore, especially with their coach fired. I think they're just gonna let loose, and they're just gonna play football and have fun. Robbie Anderson, Miles Gaskin. Miles Gaskin is probably the X factor here. If he can get in the end zone and have a good game, that will help him out. David Montgomery, I think, he's gonna have a good game. The big question for me, Machine 2 as well, Robert Tonyan. If Robert Tonyan has a big game or a solid game, even with Devontae Adams back, I know it's probably not going to be like this, but if he could have a solid game, he has a chance for having another great waiver ad. Like, it's not just a pickup; that's an ad on the team. That's a solid tight end with a solid quarterback. So that's going to be. I'm pretty sure. Comeback Chris is looking at that. Me Machine is looking at that. I'm looking at that. Everyone's looking at Robert Tonyan to see if he's the real deal. Little Kittle or Baby Kittle is what they call him. So I like that squad. It's pretty solid. I know he might want to switch it up a little bit. I don't know if he I don't want to help anybody. I'm just calling it like it is. Thielen's on the bench. That's all I'm saying. On the other side, comeback Chris. Solid matchups. The only thing about this matchup is Mark Ingram. That offense, they're just clicking on different cylinders this season. It's not that high running defense offense. Mark Ingram is definitely touchdown dependent, and he's not getting the load like as he should. They're switching with 3 running backs. Seems like every team is doing that. Plus, you have Lamar Jackson running, and Lamar Jackson not even running at a high. He's running at a low, all-time low, I believe. These numbers are not good, but he's starting them. He's taking that gamble. I believe he has to start him. Let me see. Yep. Hines, he fell in love with Hines, obviously. He fell in love with Hines. I knew this wasn't going to be it. Yeah, he fell in love with Hines after week 1. I think you could drop him now. Maybe, I mean, if he has the space, he can keep him. I'm not going to keep him if I had him. I think AJ Green, you could drop him. Fournette, all these players is just like, it just kind of makes you go, it doesn't really excite you as much. Still doesn't have Goddard on the IR. You could have someone else if you put Goddard on the IR. Still doesn't have him. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what his move is, but good start. He picked up Lindsey last week, and then Melvin Gordon got the DUI, so you never know if he's going to play or not. But that might be a good play against New England. New England isn't necessarily the best against the D, so it could be a good play. Noah Fant, I understand he doesn't have a tight end right now, and I believe Noah Fant might not play. It's a high ankle injury. I'm pretty sure it was a high ankle injury. If he plays, it's still kind of shaky. You don't want him to, you don't want him to aggravate it. So the tight end matchup is going to be scary for both of them. But more, I think Robert Tonyan has more to gain from it, but whereas Fant has more to lose. So it's going to be a crazy one. Tyler Boyd should be a good matchup right there, because I think T. Higgins is slowly creeping into that one spot. So Boyd should have a good game, but against Indiana's defense, anything could happen. Deebo Samuel, I think Deebo shows up this game. I think Odell Beckham shows up. Even with Andy Dalton, I think Cooper has a good game. It's just because he's a solid receiver, bro. And Andy Dalton is not no fucking scrub as Stephen A. Smith. He's no scrub. I think that he was going to be solid. There's Deshaun Watson right here. It's a great play, I think, with Deshaun Watson. I know I was saying, might want to look into another situation around week 4, but look it, bro. And it just looks good for him. After Tennessee, if he does good against Tennessee, he's going to do great all the way up until maybe Indiana again, but look at this whole plus the bye week is so perfect for Deshaun Watson. So he's going to go with him, obviously. But the breaker for me is that he has Brandon Cooks, and I think that Tennessee they're going to number on Will Fuller, and they're going to make him, run. But I think Brandon Cooks is going to, he'll get those looks now that there's no one holding him back, like Bill O'Brien. So if I had to give this matchup to anybody, this one easily could be the matchup of the week. I think I'm going to have to give it to Comeback Chris, just strictly off the receivers right now. Just strictly off of the receivers right now and running backs right now. We'll see. Wait until game day, and I'll give the recap. But as of right now, I'm gonna give it to Comeback Chris. Just the players are more solid and have a better solid matchups. I think Ingram does get the ball in a touchdown, and it'll be a good must win for Chris. Must win for Chris. He wants to get back into that second. If he wins too, he can get that first or second spot. That's where Chris is at. Same thing with Mean Machine. He can get that second, third, first spot, depending how other games go, and then the numbers and yada yada. But yeah, so good matchup right there. I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on that one. Next matchup, El Come Tortas, the defending champ, managed by Sergio, versus Zeked Out, managed by Jack, my rival. This one does not look good for the defending champ. You had a lot of buys, and like I said, you had a lot of injuries. I don't know why you don't use this other IR. Maybe drop Shepard, drop Lazard. It just you could live with these drops. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to drop like McCaffrey. McCaffrey's coming back, but I don't think it'll be in the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks he comes back. You got Jacobs, Carson, Breeze, and Myers, who has been putting points up for you, all on buys, bro. So you have to be depending on, CeeDee Lamb should be good too. I like CeeDee Lamb. I think he himself will get in the end zone. Cam Newton, he's touchdown dependent. He'll be a solid start. Mike Evans, touchdown dependent. Against this, I think they're going to have to be throwing the ball, both teams. So Evans has definitely the fucking upside for it. Scantling, I think Valdez Scantling is a good start as well. But, with Tanyan and Jones in there, and they're mixing in Williams and then Devontae Adams coming back, Valdez Scantling is probably trending a little bit downward. Burkhead is this play at Burkhead. You never know. He can get you 3 points. He can get you 16. There's no in between. And if there is an in between, I will be surprised. But Burkhead, that he picked him up on waivers. Picked up, I believe Gore on waivers. And this is what you had to do. This is a veteran move by the defending champ, just to give himself a chance. I think 12 gauge, and I think formerly known as Saved by LaBelle, jobless, should be looking at this. Like, look, he has players in slots. He has players in positions that he didn't have, that he wasn't going to have until he made some moves. So shout out to Champ. That was a defending champ veteran move. But I don't like these matchups right here. Frank Gore, Burkhead. Ingram could be nice. It could be very nice. Beasley, primetime maybe, but over these matchups, and the only thing I see, I think Zeked Out has to start Ertz, and Ertz should be good. I mean, you're playing him because of name. You're keeping him because of the name. It's not because of who he is. You know what I'm saying? What he's done this season, because he really hasn't done shit. Slayton hasn't done shit besides the first game. T. Higgins, tough matchup. I like how he sat him down, but Godwin should be coming back, or else I think he will be playing T. Higgins. Tyreek Hill, prime time. Ben Roethlisberger against Cleveland, always great. Marquise Brown, very touchdown dependent, but I do think that his targets stay around this number 8-10 and not this number like 5-6. So I think it should be a cool week for Marquise Brown, and he always has that fucking explosiveness to get in that touchdown. So I think it's a solid play too. Ezekiel Elliott, probably the most trusted running back in all of fantasy football, like without a doubt. Mixon, I think he has a big game because that passing game is going to be shut down, and it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a high scoring game. So I think it might be a running game. So Mixon seems like a good start to me. Robinson seems like a good start to me. I think, he finally bounces back from, with that game from like Miami and Tennessee. I think he gets like 15-16, if he doesn't go into the end zone more than twice. So I think this is a good game for Robinson, just solid matchups all around. Buckner, he has Baltimore's defense against Philadelphia. Philadelphia is horrible this year. I don't, he has Henry in there to buy. He's gonna put in Ertz. He has to put in Ertz. I know Jack too well, and he's gonna put in Ertz. He's not gonna pick up anybody else. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with Zeke out on this one. Must win for both teams. It's getting there. It's week 6 now. We're not in preseason no more. This is the Rona games. These are the bye weeks coming. This is that really nitty gritty. So yeah, Zeke out. I like that shit. Fuck you, Jack. Next matchup against is Jobless, formerly known as Saved by Lev Bell, managed by Junior, versus A Team Has No Name, managed by Ray Ray. The big news is obviously, Lev Bell was supposed to come back, and he did come back, and he had, let's see I didn't even notice what he did. Yeah, 7 points, 13 attempts. So he was nowhere in the past game. Obviously, they let him go. I'm pretty sure at this time he has not signed with the Chiefs yet. Let me check my phone, see if there's any updates on this. Nope, no updates. It's still expected to sign. So I don't know what he's going to do right there. He might want to trade him. He might want to keep him. I don't think his fantasy value goes up or lower. It just fucks up Clyde Edwards-Helaire's value and just makes the team overall better. So, but yeah, he has Ruggs on bye, Wilson on bye, Kelly on bye, Metcalf on bye. So good thing, he picked up Golden Tate earlier in the year on waivers. Chase Edmonds, I believe he drafted Chase Edmonds. If he did, I'm not too sure. He picked up Chris Thompson, and it's just like, yeah, you're putting teams to play. It's not like last week, because last week, he should have changed his name to Defenseless, because he could have had a chance to possibly win. You know what I'm saying? Making a couple of decisions. He didn't play a defense last game, and he lost by 24 points. And then I told him to pick up Tennessee's defense because they're playing on Tuesday, because he only had New England's defense, which was on a bye. And they scored 23. That's what I'm saying here. Like, these are not veteran moves. That's a rookie move to not put anybody in like that. I mean, unless you could afford it, why would you do that? It was a must win. It's still a must win. He's going to be in the same position as 12 gauge. Although I do like his team, I've been saying that, like, I like his squad. The bye weeks are hurting him right here, and Ray, his team is trending upwards. He has a chance to make a run for that 3rd spot, 4th spot, depending on everything goes. So his team is trending upwards, and Murray's solid, Diggs is solid, Galladay solid, Justin Jefferson solid, Henry solid. It's solid players and solid matchups. I'm gonna have to give it to Ray. A Team Has No Name. Junior, learn from it. Look at this. You got a solid squad, bro. Solid squad. Solid pickup of Fitzpatrick too. Like, you needed a quarterback, and Fitzpatrick is perfect against the Jets. Perfect, bro. Last week, you could have moved somebody around, pick somebody off the waivers and just put him in your flex, and, pick up Tennessee defense just to get some points, just to fight. If you're going to go down swinging, don't take the fucking shots like that. That's what I don't like in fantasy football. I hate when people give up or don't keep up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this league was all about. When Commish Master E hit us all up, he said he wanted people who are actually going to be into the games and actually going to focus on the teams and be in it weekly. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame when things like that happen. So yeah, this is the 5 to Life week 5 preview. You guys tell me, who do you think is going to win? And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks.